Are you someone who often over-explains, apologizes for things that aren't your fault, or feels the need to fill every silence with words? If so, then you are not alone, beautiful. People pleasers often feel so much pressure to talk. Believe me, I have felt exactly the same. You feel the pressure to explain yourself or just justify your actions to make sure that other people feel comfortable. But what if I actually told you that silence and saying less could be your secret weapon to reclaim your power? Well, today I'm going to dive into the law of power, number 4, always say less than necessary. And together we are going to explore how less can actually mean more, especially when it comes to setting boundaries and protecting your energy. So I want to begin with the power of saying less, because this law is so simple yet so profound. In any conversation or interaction, less is usually more. It's so easy to feel the urge to talk and fill space and make people feel comfortable, especially when you're nervous about being judged or misunderstood. People pleasers often feel the need to say more, and the reason for that is that you feel like that way you will win approval, or you have a better chance of actually being liked and connecting with the other person. But here's the catch. The more you speak, the more you give away. Now you're giving away your power. You're giving away your energy, and sometimes even your boundaries, and without even realizing it. Now why? Well, that's because over-explaining, it can make you seem insecure, and it can make you seem desperate for validation. Have you ever been in that situation where you've met someone and literally it's just been talk, and they're just overly eager and overly friendly and overly, everything? It just does give off that energy. Let me know in the comments if you've ever felt like that before. But, as women, we feel that pressure a lot. And when you talk too much, what can happen is you actually inadvertently end up revealing your vulnerabilities in ways that others may not honor. You cannot trust people on, just having met them 1 or 2 times. So it's important that you actually honor and protect your energy and everything that you say. And the true strength of every woman lies in saying just what's necessary. The true strength in you will come from honoring your energy. And when you're burning yourself out, going on and on and on and talking, then you're not honoring your energy for a start. And it really is in the power of silence, where you don't need to justify your actions to anyone, and that strength can really be felt. So I want you to let me know in the comments if you're agreeing with this so far. Now, let's talk about how we say less to actually create stronger boundaries, because this can be a problem if you've done it your whole life. So for people pleasers, setting boundaries can feel like a confrontation, especially when we're used to saying yes all the time. But when you speak less, you're not engaging in every request or explanation. You're just learning to say no without needing to explain yourself. So here's a common scenario, right? So let's say you're invited to a friend or a family event, but you're feeling so overwhelmed at the moment. There's just too much going on in your life. You need rest, and you're just really pushed, and it's just going to be so difficult for you to actually go. Instead of feeling the need to explain why you can't attend, or even just going along with it in the first place, the whole I have too much going on, I'm tired, etc., or I'd love to, but you're just simply going to say, I won't be able to make it. That's it. Okay, that is it. You can do this. The more you explain, the more you leave room for others to challenge your decision. The more you try to justify yourself, the more you invite others to question your boundaries, and you kind of find loopholes in what you're saying and give them an angle to get in there and work around you and try and persuade you. The key here is you need to be just firm but brief. You don't need to offer an explanation for why you're saying no or yes. Your decision stands on its own. So let's talk about the strength in silence, and let's talk a little bit about minimalism, because I'm a huge minimalist and it can really help not only when you're thinking about aesthetics in your life, but actually when you're thinking about you and how you spend your energy. Let's talk about how silence can be your most powerful tool. Now, people think that, them being silent is being awkward or uncomfortable. But in reality, silence is strength. It commands respect. It lets others know that you don't need to speak constantly to make your point or hold space. And honestly, when you're just listening to someone talking and asking questions, it can be really draining sometimes. So it does show strength. It shows that you can read the room. It shows that you have your boundaries. It shows that you have that strong energy. You don't need to speak constantly to make a point or hold space. You're able to stand firm without justifying yourself. So I want to share with you an example from a client who's currently working through this, and she's doing incredibly, but she's a successful entrepreneur. She has her business, she has her children, she's juggling it all, but she constantly felt the need to explain her decisions to her employees, to her partners, and her family members. And she found herself over-explaining her choices, from small tasks, say, to big business decisions that she was making, that she just felt like this is going to be so right for where we're going. But the more she actually explained, the less authority she seemed to have. And she found herself questioning who was actually in charge of her own business. She was just coming across as uncertain, despite knowing exactly what she wanted, but she didn't realize that at the time. And then through working together, we started to notice that the problem was she didn't feel worthy of making the choices in the first place and following through, because she had always been questioned her whole life. And she realized now that by saying less, she could hold her space without needing to explain every detail. So what did this look like? Okay, so the first things that we implemented were she started responding to requests with just the essential answer. No cushioning everything, no softly approach, making sure it was all, sounding so lovely and couldn't be misinterpreted. Literally just the answers required, formal, but not over the top. She tried to just implement those small changes first. It took time. She started trusting herself more and then speaking, but only when it actually added value. So the result that we've seen in the past few weeks, her employees and her peers, like people that she's working with, collaborations and things, they are showing signs that they are starting to respect her more. And she feels like she's actually regaining that control and just feeling so much more ease and confidence. And that's simply just through this one change and saying less than necessary. Say only what's necessary. So silence is a tool of strength, and the more you practice it, the more your inner power will shine, and the more energy you're actually going to have to be your best self. So if you're ready to stop over-explaining, start saying less, and reclaim your power, then remember that your boundaries do not have to be justified. If you're ready to take it to the next level, to start making these changes and be supported to do so, then you should start with the spark activation. It's not one-on-one coaching like my client who I spoke about had, but it is a personalized deep dive that can uncover where you're over-explaining, where you're giving away your power, and I'll show you how you specifically, based on your circumstances, can start setting healthier boundaries. So you can find way more about that in the link below. But I would love you to comment below right now. I choose silence and strength. I would love you to let me know what you're working on. I would love you to know if this video has impacted you. And I'll see you in the next video, beautiful. It's going to be a powerful one.